way they could fix it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Alfred Naro.
Mr. Speaker, just taking on the comments of the previous speaker about the rocket science. This bill is a rocket that has no science, it has no fizz. It is a bill that we won't be supporting, and here's the reasons why, Mr. Speaker. Very simply it is. We do, and I do understand the intent of the member, which is to try and address issues. We are absolutely clear there have been privacy breaches. We can talk about the ACC, the MSD. Those things are actually out there. And look, we have to own them. We know they're out there. But, Mr. Speaker, last year, when we actually, in front of the Justice and Electoral Select Committee, the Privacy Commissioner, Mrs. Schroff herself, and these are the comments that she said, and it was witnessed by the Honourable Landau Zeel and also Andrew Little. When questioned about the privacy breaches, her reply was this: there's actually nothing new. Privacy breaches have been happening for an absolutely long time, long before us. It's been going on for some time. However, what is new, these are in her words, what is new is the attention of the public and the concern of the media in order for us to address these issues. So we do realise they are absolutely important. Mr. Speaker, the government agrees with the Law Commission's recommendation to replace the Privacy Act with a new one. That's currently, at the moment, in play, and we are looking at that. National wants to legislate that balances the rights on the need of privacy for individuals against the need for particular government agencies to continue to be able to share their information that's out there, that's important to meet the needs of our members and of our community as well. We need to improve the way personal information is collected, stored and used by people. In order to prevent these breaches of this magnitude, it's important that the Privacy Commission is able to undertake investigations and identify gaps. Mr. Speaker, the main provisions of this bill, as been shared by the previous member, are twofold. And yes, they are to be able to ensure the power for the Commissioner to issue compliance notices. A notice to an agency that is found to be in breach of the Act and requiring that the agency to comply with the Act. But here's the second part, Mr. Speaker, and this is where we probably have the contention. The bill would also give the Privacy Commissioner an audit power to demand information handling audits across the public sector. Mr. Speaker, the government cannot support the bill in its current form, and particularly in that second part. While we agree with the Law Commission's recommendation in its review of the Privacy Act that the Privacy Commissioner should be able to issue compliance notice, we do not support an audit power be given to the Commissioner. And here's the reasons why. National wants to strengthen the Commissioner's own motion of investigation powers, so yes, it will agree to that. But the Privacy Act is currently under review. So we are undertaking what we think is important. See, the thing is, this bill, and hence the reason the rocket with no fizz, no science, is because it only actually addresses one part of the Law Commission's recommendations. What the government is doing, however, is actually taking a broader approach. It's actually tackling a variety of different issues in this legislation. We want the legislation to be balanced about the right and the needs of privacy in individuals. So here's some more about what we're doing. The Minister herself expects to take a paper to Cabinet later this year. It will cover the issues raised in this bill and the remaining of the Law Commissioner's recommendation. The other thing too is that as we're going out, the Privacy Commissioner also too, we're out there consulting. I mean, there's been a lot of, I suppose, concern about the fact of lack of consultation. But we've been out there, the Privacy Commission has been out there, has been consulting with all relevant stakeholders to ensure that we get these issues addressed clearly. All the recommendations of the Law Commission must be considered in a combination with the privacy breach issues that have arisen from the Commissioner's report. Mr. Speaker, we know that these issues are also too in regard to technology. Technology has changed. And because of those, technology has changed, Mr. Speaker. I suppose here's the sense that it's not just a simple issue, well, we've got to issue these compliance notices and then we'll solve the issue. We don't believe that. There are a broader set of things that we need in order to be able to do this. So hence the reason, Mr. Speaker, one of the things that did come out from the Law Commission was about the language. Refreshing the language to be able to act and to clarify the provisions inside the Act will help users better understand its purpose in our modern environment. We should also consider the international approaches to privacy issues as well. Mr. Speaker, while I do applaud the intent, the effort and the energy of the member in order to put together this giving Privacy Commission necessary tools amendment bill, a bit of a a mouthful there, Mr Speaker. I have to say that on behalf of the government that we will not support this bill. We do not think that it actually reaches all the key concerns that are there in the recommendations. Mr Speaker, I won't be supporting this bill in the House.
Mr Speaker.
In reply, Sue Moroney.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Well, can I first of all start by acknowledging and thanking all of those parties who have seen fit to support the